Hello, hello, welcome back. My name is Donald, aka the Scruffy Looking Gamer, and with Lorcana being hard to get your hands on, let's talk about the 6 best uncommons that you should be playing right now. Alright, so I got here my top uncommon from each color. So let's start off with Amber and talk about what I feel is the best uncommon, which is Be Our Guest. First off, it's inkable, which is always great. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You can reveal a character card and put in your hand, the rest go in the bottom. This card's really great to just filter through your deck and find that one character that you need to do the thing you need to do, whatever it may be. This works in any deck in Amber just because all decks rely on characters right now. So you can just filter through and find the character you need. I think you should be playing this in every Amber deck. I don't really see a reason not to at this point. So yeah, this is what I feel the best uncommon in Amber. Be Our Guest. Moving on to Amethyst. Befuddle, also inkable, which is a very good thing. And you can return a character or item with cost 2 or less to their player's hand. So this is what we would call a tempo play, where you're kind of punishing your opponent, making them pay for something. Again, with so many aggressive decks running around, Lilo is right now, she's the best 1-drop, and you're going to see her a lot on the other side of the field. Befuddle is great. Just return it back to their hand, make them have to play it again, and then wait a whole another turn to be able to quest with it. I think that pretty much every deck in Amethyst should be running 4 copies of Befuddle. I know the control decks and slower decks really love this card, but I don't see a reason not to really run it in. Even if you're running an Amber Amethyst aggro style deck, this is just good against the mirror match. This will put your opponent off by a turn and allow you to kind of take the lead and be more aggressive. So Befuddle, top pick for Amethyst. Next uncommon is Flynn Rider, and he is a really good uncommon. This might be my pick for overall best uncommon in the entire chapter 1. He's very strong. Inkable, 2 cost. He's only a 1/2, but he also quests for 2. So if they made him a 2 cost 2/2 that quests for 2 and has an upside, that would, I mean, he's already almost borderline a rare as is. But so he quests for 2, you're going to be questing with him a lot, and they're going to want him off the board. But in order to do that, if they challenge him, they're going to have to discard a card, and that's huge. The card advantage that comes from Flynn Rider is just huge. Best case scenario for your opponent to have would be if they had a Fire the Cannons to be able to take him out without having to discard a card. But unless you're playing against a deck that is running Fire the Cannons, then it's gonna cost them to get rid of Flynn. So if you're playing Emerald at all, you should definitely be playing Flynn Rider. No questions there. All right, in Ruby we have the Shield of Virtue, also inkable, and 1 cost. Not going to do anything really for a few turns. If you can play it on 1, if you don't have anything else to play, that's great. But you can use it over and over to pay 3 and ready a character. They can't quest for the rest of the turn, but you can do some stuff where you quest with the character, then you ready it with Shield of Virtue, then you use them to challenge, or you can use them to sing a song. Do anything that, of course, can't quest, but I mean, you can get 2 uses out of a character per turn, and that's really strong. You can also use it defensively if you have something that you don't want them to challenge into, but you really want to quest, like they quest for 3 or 4 or something like that. Quest with them, use this to ready them back up. They can't be challenged, and you can just repeat that process over and over. So Shield of Virtue has a lot of different uses, and I think it's a very strong card to include in Ruby decks for sure. Even if you don't do the full 4, I mean, 2 copies of this is okay. I think it's worth an include. All right, moving on to Sapphire, we have One Jump Ahead. Now, this one is not inkable, but this card is really strong. Helps you to get ahead of your opponent, ironically. By you're going to have another ink than them. So you put the top card of your deck and your ink will face down and exerted. So on your next turn, you're going to be readying 3 ink if you play it on turn 2, readying 3 ink and then dropping a 4th one hopefully down. So you're going to put yourself a turn ahead. Pretty much any deck in Sapphire is going to want to play this. The Sapphire decks are really good at doing this, and that I think that's pretty much what you're going to be doing every time in those decks, at least for now. When we get more sets, maybe Sapphire isn't so focused in the ramping, but for now, I mean, that's what you do in Sapphire. If you're including them, you're going to want to ramp, and One Jump Ahead, best way to do that. Smash. This is my pick for top steel uncommon, and it's just a great card. It's inkable. Deal 3 damage to chosen character. That's going to take out a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that is just 3 on their toughness, and that will take care of a lot of them. And just like with Flynn Rider, there are a lot of cards that you might be punished if you're attacking, if you're challenging into them. So this allows you to take care of them without having to worry about whatever the downside is on the character that you're challenging. It does get stopped by characters with ward, so that is important to note. If they have ward, you can't use smash on them, but most of the time, there's not a lot of ward stuff out there, so smash is going to be able to do what it does. So that's the top pick in all 6 colors for uncommon for me. That's my pick. I do have an honorable mention though that I want to mention. I kind of had a tough time choosing between Smash and another card. So I think that Donald Duck Musketeer is a really good card that a lot of people overlook. It's inkable. That's always good. It is a 2/5, so that toughness is strong. Comes in, it's a bodyguard, so you can have it come in exerted, and they're going to have a hard time dealing with the 5. They're going to need probably 2 different characters to maybe take it out. And with 2 power, he's going to do some decent damage. But also, if he lives and on your next turn, so he says, during your turn, your musketeer characters gain evasive. That includes himself. So he'll give himself evasive. You can use him to maybe challenge into one of their evasive threats, and then he's exerted, and he's a bodyguard, so they're going to have to challenge him to get through. So he can protect your stuff. He can take out their evasive stuff. I think if you're looking for just a strong overall bodyguard and you're on a budget, Donald Duck Musketeer is top tier. So that is my honorable mention for best uncommon that didn't make the list. So let me know what you think. Do you feel that there are other uncommons that are better than the ones I picked? Some of them, there were a couple in each color that I kind of went back and forth between, but these are the ones I ended up on. So I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Leave a like. Hit the subscribe button if you want. And I appreciate it. Until next time.